Well, it's not more than 2 hours since the imposed deadline for the Trump administration to turn over details about those weekend deportation flights to El Salvador. A judge had given a deadline of noon Eastern today to get details of those flights as they were in the air when he temporarily blocked the administration from using the Alien Enemies Act. The administration, though, has repeatedly slammed the ruling as overstepping the court's authority. Correspondent Libby Dean is live at the White House for us with the very latest. So, Libby, what happens now? Because this deadline quite obviously has passed.
Yeah, Nicole, they've blown through this deadline by about 2 hours, but there's a couple of possibilities of what could happen here. The DOJ could be delayed in their response, or they could be ignoring the judge's order here. From there, it's really unclear what the judge could do in response to if they ignored it. He could potentially hold these attorneys in contempt or fine them. But that's all to be determined on if that is something that the judge is going to do. But the docket does show no response from the DOJ on turning over information about Saturday's deportation flights to El Salvador. Now, here's what White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt told me today ahead of this deadline, which is now completely passed. We have this noon deadline looming for this D.C. judge, for the DOJ to turn over these documents when it comes to the time logs of these deportation flights. Is the administration going to turn over that information, the exact time logs, the information that the D.C. court is asking for?
I won't get ahead of our lawyers, but you'll hear from them in court.
And we haven't heard from them in court yet, but Leavitt also said she's 100% confident that the administration complied with the judge's orders. But they've also been incredibly critical of this judge, this D.C. judge who originally ordered these deportation flights be rerouted back to the U.S. But the judge has doubled down, that's saying he is trying to determine here if the administration deliberately ignored this order when it came down, or if these flights were already out of U.S. airspace by the time that this order came down. And that is what the White House has been saying, that these flights were out of U.S. airways by the time that this order came down from this D.C. judge. Nichole?
All right, so Libby, I know we're all kind of waiting to see what happens, but any idea what are the next steps for the administration in this case and then just overall with their legal battles?
Well, it all depends here if we do or don't get that information from the Department of Justice, because there is the chance that the DOJ, as I mentioned, could be withholding this information and citing the privilege that they believe they have when it comes to the president's executive authority here to conduct deportations under the Alien Enemies Act, which is what got this all started. But nonetheless, Republican lawmakers joining in the battle against these judges, criticizing them. Senator Hawley posting here that he's planning on introducing legislation about these judges ruling against the administration, and he is claiming that they are, quote, dramatically abusing their judicial authority here. Now, we're still waiting, of course, on the Department of Justice's response, but there's also a chance that attorneys are meeting with the judge behind closed doors. There's a lot of possibilities here as to what could be going on, but as of right now, there's nothing on the docket reflecting a response from the Department of Justice when it comes to this D.C. judge's order requesting more information on those flights. Nichole?
All right, yeah, and 2 hours and counting. All right, Libby Dean, thank you. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.